Last night, Governor Walz suggested that because of your Ivy League education and your Silicon backing your political career, that you yourself are part of the elite. What are your first impressions of them trying to frame you this way to the American public?
Well, look, I came from a family where nobody in my family had ever gone to law school. I grew up in a poor family. The fact that Tim Walz wants to turn it into a bad thing, that I actually worked myself through college, through law school, and made something myself, to me, that's the American dream. And if Tim Walz wants to insult it, I think that's frankly pretty bizarre. Now, look, what really bothers me about Tim Walz, it's not even the positions that he's taken, though certainly he has been a far left radical. You know what really bothers me about Tim Walz as a Marine who served his country in uniform? When the United States Marine Corps, when the United States of America asked me to go to Iraq to serve my country, I did it. I did what they asked me to do it, and I did it honorably, and I'm very proud of that service. When Tim Walz was asked by his country to go to Iraq, you know what he did? He dropped out of the Army and allowed his unit to go without him, a fact that he's been criticized for aggressively by a lot of the people that he served with. I think it's shameful to prepare your unit to go to Iraq, to make a promise that you're going to follow through, and then to drop out right before you actually have to go. I also think it's dishonest. Something, again, if you guys ever get an opportunity to ask Tim Walz or Kamala Harris some questions, he made this interesting comment that the Kamala Harris campaign put out there, and I bet they're regretting they put it out there now, because he said that and he was making a point about gun control, he said we shouldn't allow weapons that I used in war to be on America's streets. Well, I wonder, Tim Walz, when were you ever in war? What was this weapon that you carried into war, given that you abandoned your unit right before they went to Iraq, and he has not spent a day in a combat zone? What bothers me about Tim Walz is the stolen valor garbage. Do not pretend to be something that you're not. And if he wants to criticize me for getting an Ivy League education, I'm proud of the fact that my mamaw supported me, that I was able to make something of myself. I'd be ashamed if I was him and I lied about my military service like he did.
Both, how are you? Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna, I'm proposing that everybody, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
Margin in Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina. Look at this. Donald Trump holds an advantage on who voters trust more in the economy. Look at that. He leads Harris by 12 points. But interestingly enough, this is a question that I really don't think pollsters ask nearly enough, which is who cares about people more like you? Look at this. Harris holds a 5-point advantage on that. You go back to 2012, Mitt Romney won on the economy, but Barack Obama won that election because he won on this question, cares about people like you. And Harris right now is leading on this, less of a lead than Trump has on the economy. But right now, I think voters are balancing these two thoughts in their head, and that's why we have such a close race across the Sun Belt battleground.
When I'm president, we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone. If you hate America, if you want to eliminate Israel, then we don't want you in our country. We really don't want you in our country. I will ban refugee settlements from terror-infested areas like the Gaza Strip. And we will arrest the pro-Hamas thugs who vandalize federal property and make really life very, very difficult in this country for a lot of people.
Join me on Discord to talk about it.
Fox News alert.
a Secret Service counter sniper, is predicting another assassination attempt before November. In an email obtained by Real Clear Politics, a Secret Service agent with 20 years experience on the counter sniper team is announcing he's going to blow the whistle until all of his supervisors are fired. The counter sniper says his mission is to prevent another JFK-style assassination. And the only reason that hasn't happened is because they've gotten lucky. He says Secret Service leadership is corrupt and states clearly, quote, "We all should expect another assassination attempt to happen before November. We've exposed our inability to protect our leaders due to our leadership." After this email went public, it was wiped off the Secret Service servers. There's a massive cover-up underway, and it spilled over into Congress. After Cheadle resigned in disgrace, her number 2 got promoted and testified today that the Secret Service screwed up, but the local police, it was really all their fault.
So just tell us, like, did you come out to join us today or did you find us?
I found you. I was at the pub with him. My mate, he was like, there's protesting going on. I thought I'll have to check it out because obviously I have my beliefs and I'm a firm believer. I think they're bang out of order. You know, I got them lot sitting here, yeah, shouting across at us, Nazi scum, Nazi scum. Half my family died in the Holocaust. I'm a Jew. Yeah, I'm a Nazi. I'm a Jewish Nazi. Have you ever heard of a Jewish Nazi? I haven't. I have not heard of a Jewish Nazi. All of them lot are protesting for something. They don't know what they're protesting for. You want to agree with a law, you're letting all these, let them in, let them in, let them in. Let's have a bit of Sharia law. And when you can't shake your dad's hand and you can't shake your brother's hand because you're not up enough to touch men because you're a woman, you'll regret voting them. And that's the facts, man. You're all voting the wrong fucking thing. You're all young and think you're woke, and you're woke to the wrong idea, for the wrong people, not your culture and not your beliefs. And that is a fact. And I'll keep telling them. And they want to sit there, oh, there's more of us than you, there's more of us than you. Not one of them would have a punch-up. Not one of them. Look at them. Look at them. They're all like that too. Half of them are girls with cocks. Half of them, boys with badges. And they reckon they're having a punch-up. These are the same people that got you done out for bullying at school because they couldn't handle it. But now I'm a Nazi fascist.
Bro walked miles along 30A waving his Trump flag.
Amigos Latinos, you need to vote for Trump. Kamala Harris is no bueno. Kamala is mucho pendejo. Even more pendejo than Joe Biden. Pero Senor Trump, how can Kamala be more pendejo than Joe Biden? Well, she is. Mucho pendejo, no bueno. If you want to earn dinero, you need to el voto for el President Trumpo. Con Trumpo, you will earn mucho dinero. So make sure you el voto Trump in 2024. Let's make El America great again. Muchos gracias, amigos.
After taking down a ring of Colombian gangsters, a sheriff has had enough with the immigration system under the Biden-Harris administration.
Stole $1.7 million from 9 different business owners. Now think about that. You live in a gated community. 2 of these 4 guys are at large. They may be in a gated community near you right now. This 4 group here, the policies in New York, NYPD actually arrested these folks, and one of them already had an outstanding pickup by the federal government for a cut monitor, but yet they didn't report it to ICE. And then ICE deported another one of these folks when we tell them, hey, we're getting ready to file racketeering charges. You cannot believe, if the American people saw from the inside out what we see every day, you would find out this catch and release, notices to appear, they don't show up, then they show up in your home, in your gated community, committing burglaries. It's a non-existent policy. But you know what? If you keep electing the same people at the state and federal level that you always have, you'll get what you've always gotten. And it doesn't seem to bother anybody until their child dies of a fentanyl overdose or their house is broken into. This is alive and well, and it's a porous border allowing every bit of this.